Good afternoon. Welcome to this update. We are going to do a severe weather update. A hurricane update today. We're going to take a look at the tropics today, taking a look at National Hurricane Center. And of course, we see what we would typically see at this time of year, a quiet basin, Atlantic basin, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico. Because, it's only May 9th. The waters still have plenty of time to warm up. We still have June, July, August, September, the core months of the season to go. Let's take a look at our EPAC, or Eastern Pacific. Again, quiet. Central Pacific is, let's take a look. There's a marine weather message, which isn't saying much. It's quiet, is what it means. I do want to take a look at our current sea surface temperature anomalies. Because again, you want to take a look at the overall ocean synopsis when you're looking at a major long-range forecast like this, or even short-range or medium range. But as you can see, we have a lot of warm water here right off the coast of Africa, west coast of Africa, my apologies, which brings to mind we could have some long-tracked hurricanes this year, because when you get a lot of warm water off the west coast of Africa, that's when you get your hurricanes to originate, your tropical waves, I should say, and then they become eventually long-tracked hurricanes as they travel along with this warmth in the Caribbean and then towards the Gulf or towards the Floridian or East Coast. So again, when you have this key component, when you have warm waters right off the west coast of Africa extending all the way to the Gulf, that's saying something, and that's something I want to watch, and we all want to watch this year, is because, again, you can just kind of see the track of where these hurricanes are going to go. It's pretty self-explanatory. We do have a lot of warm waters right off Africa there. We also have a developing El Nino, and I want to show you what an El Nino does to hurricane development. Drum roll, please. It creates a lot of, you said it, shear. And El Nino events generally suppress Atlantic hurricane activity. So fewer hurricanes than normal form in the Atlantic during August to October, the peak of the season. Okay, so again, the keyword is suppress, make smaller. It does not enhance, it suppresses hurricane development. And I do want to take a look at one other thing. NOAA PSD Daily Composite. I want to take a look at our 500 millibar heights that we've had globally this year so far, because that can be an indicator of where the pattern is going to go in the next 2 months when we hop into the beginning of hurricane season. So let's take a look at January 1st all the way to May. Let's go May 1st. And just to show you what I'm up to here, you can go all the way on the site to May 7th. And we're going to plot the anomaly, so in other words, relative to average. And we're going to do global, which is all. And again, this is a NOAA site. It's called, you just type in PSD Daily, and it's one of the first sites that'll pop up. And we're going to create a plot based off these heights. So, okay, great. So we've had a block here right over the North Pole. And essentially what you want to see for major hurricane development is this trough here. See this trough, that purple and blue shading right off the Atlantic, right in the Atlantic Ocean, right off the east coast of the USA right there. You want that trough to be centered in the Midwest of the USA, because like attracts like in terms of the 500 and 1000 millibar layers, even the upper layer, very top layers of the atmosphere. So when you get a negative height, which is the trough, or aka low pressure, that attracts more low pressure. Now when you get a positive height, a high pressure, that attracts more high pressure. It's all relative, and they like attracts like in terms of the atmospheric sciences. So essentially what you want is you want a trough over the mainland USA to get another trough, which would be in the form of a hurricane, to impact the USA. And right now, we don't see a conducive or favorable pattern for that. As you can see, we have a lot of high pressure over the eastern half of the USA, where we would typically see our hurricane impacts for the USA, because again, we're not in India where we see impacts from the western Pacific Ocean make, that's their typhoons over there and whatnot. So again, not conducive, but that does not mean can't change it in the future. But again, we are seeing an El Nino this year, which means development should be down overall. Now, if you follow just a little extra information, a little icing on the cake, if you follow people like Joe Bastardi, he's a great long-range forecaster. He does his own private site called Weather Belt. He's looking into different factors, not just the El Nino, but there's like, in my opinion, in my book, there's about 20 different factors you look at when you're piecing a puzzle for a hurricane forecast to go together. And essentially, an El Nino, or a La Nina for that matter, is only one factor out of 20. So you want to piece all your pieces together so you get the overall picture of what your forecast is going to be. And he is looking into an about more of above average hurricane season this year, despite the El Nino. So again, there's different theories that can go into all of the science of this, but right now my forecast is I'm going with the fact that we have an El Nino, and that should hinder a lot of the mainland hurricane development this year. So, but on the other hand, we have a lot of warm water right off the west coast of Africa, so that might be conducive to a lot of tropical waves forming. But the question is, will the tropical waves make it all the way on shore? Because again, as you saw in, let me see if I can get the right here, current season surface temperature anomalies again. As we see right here, we do have a lot of cool water, but again, that's more towards the north. But right now, we do have the one factor in our favor. That's the warm water off the west coast of Africa. The one factor we do not have in our favor is the developing El Nino. So I will have an official hurricane outlook or something along the lines of that, probably within the next 30 to 45 days. But just wanted to do a brief little update on the tropics. So, alright guys, hope you enjoyed this update. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Have a great day. And make sure you subscribe and share my content for much more long-range weather content. Thanks guys. Have a great day. Take care.